You are welcome. In this video, I just explain you the project Python program to display student result based on the input marks. This is a Python project series. In this video, we learn how to take the input from the user and then calculate the total, find the average, and later how to display the result. So here we'll consider five subjects, totally five subjects. And 35 is the minimum marks to pass. Okay, so therefore you should score more than 35 or more than 35. If less than 35, then it is a fail. So total result is a fail. And then from all the five subject, if your average or percentage, that is the average percentage, is greater than 60, then is a first class. If it is greater than 50 or equal to 50, then is a second class, and greater than 35 or equal to 35 just is a pass. So these are the three conditions we need to write, and then you have to display the result is a first class or second class or the pass. So in order to achieve this, first level program is based on the if condition. We should know how to use the if condition. So here is a flow chart for if condition. I just show you like how Python if condition works. So if test condition statement elif. So else if is shortened as a elif, then test condition. So what are the conditions you need to write here? We can write. So if you look at the flow chart, we start, there is a condition here. If average is greater than or equal to 60, if it is true, we'll go here and we'll write first class. If it's less than 60, then naturally we'll go to this statement. If it's greater than 50, again we'll write the else if statement here. If it's greater than 50, then we'll go to this statement. We can write here second class. Else, so here it will come back. So anyway it's 35% because we'll check each subject whether it's greater than 35 or not. So if not, we're going to say fail. So here is the false part of this statement stating that it is a pass. You are just pass the examination. So these are the three conditions, greater than 60%, greater than 50% and greater than 35%. Fine. So let us see that how to write this program in Python. So I started Python, then I go to file, then I select a new file here. So you'll have a Python IDLE editor. So this is a default editor. If you are using different editors, so please use that particular editor. And if you not yet subscribed to our channel, so please subscribe to our channel. Here is a subscribe button. You click on the subscribe button. And when you are watching the video, you can see that there is channel name is there. Here is Highblix tutorials. Right click and then you can go to the new tab. You can see that Highblix tutorials. You can see that there is a videos here. You click on the videos. So we have n number of videos related to the Python. So starting with how to install, how to work with Python, how Python ideally work, how to use the notepad as an editor, and from there we discussed a lot of things. So please watch that video. Apart from this, we'll have different projects also, like how to make a different projects. So therefore you get a lot of benefit from this channel. So please subscribe by clicking the subscribe button, and when you go to any of the videos, so please share this video with your friends and also like. And if you say something to us, so please write it in the comment box. What do you think about the this video and what do you feel? Or if you have any questions also, you please write it in the comment and then send to us. So please do this. Therefore, it will be very helpful to us to understand how this is going well. Fine. So let's come back and let me write the program to find the result. So now to find the result, let's say 5 subject 1. So this is a variable. I'll just convert into integer. What are the value you enter to integer? Therefore int function, then input function. Then here you can have a text. So please enter subject 1 marks. Subject 1 marks. Okay. If you want colon, so you can use the colon, then space, then close the bracket. So here subject 1. So instead of subject 1, we can also write as a language 1. That's okay. Fine. So now 5 subject we required. So we copy and paste 5 times. Now everywhere we need to make some changes. So this is subject 2. This is 4. This is 5. So here also you have to make the changes. So the subject 2, subject 3, subject 4, subject 5. In case you wish to write as a language 1, you have to write language 1 here, language 2. So here you have to maths, science, social. So I will give you more information like what subject it is. Right. So now save the file and execute this. You can say that it will ask for the marks actually. So let us enter the marks. Fine. So it's asking for all the 5 marks. Everything is fine now. So next step is we need to check whether each subject is pass or fail. So therefore, if subject 1, so we'll take a variable called as ch, that is equal to 1. So 0 ch is equal to 1 means it's pass. Okay, subject is pass. So if this is less than 35, then so we'll make ch is equal to 0, mean that subject is fail. So ch1, in the beginning we assign 1 to that, means we assume that is a pass, but when less than 35 it becomes fail. So ch is equal to 0. So we are assigning the 0 to ch1. So that statement we write in the same line, because this is only a single statement, we can write it here. So same you can check for all the 5 statement. So right, so check this 3, 4, 5. So here is subject 2, subject 3, subject 3, subject 4, subject 5. So by watching this, maybe you get a different idea how to do the same with a different way. So you can also do this instead of checking for 5 times. So maybe you can think in different way and you can solve the problem whether you can write in a single statement. So therefore that's how you can improve the program. I'll show you later how to do that, but let us consider at this moment. So if it's less than 35, that is equal to 0. So let us understand the Python list, how to use the Python list. So here you can see that here is a list actually. So this is the list. Fine. So here we have a subject variable. So let me take smaller pen. Okay. So this is a variable called as a subject variable. So in that we have subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4, subject 5. We are passing all the values to subject variable. So we have an index value. So this index is 0, this index is 1, this index is 3, this index is 4, and this index is a 5. When I say subject of 0, you will get a subject of 1. Same way, we'll take one more variable of the type list, mr is equal to 0, 0, 0. Then again 5 for 5 subject, so we have 5 values here. Initially all the values are 0, but later we can assign the value to the based on the index. Okay, m of 0, so that is the first subject, we can assign 90. So here we learn how to use the list, write the same program. So therefore list is important. So list data type, in a list data type you can pass the values, is a character value as well as the number values. Here we take the two variables, subject variable and marks variable. So we will pass the value. Later we can assign the value to the marks var and then read the values and then display the result. Let's see that how to do this. Fine, let us modify this. So we record a one subject var. So this is a list actually. So in this list we'll take 5 subjects, subject 1, comma. So then you can say subject 2, subject 3, subject 4, 5. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll take a one more list is the marks var. So this is 0, comma. So 5 marks, okay. So you want to store all the 5 marks in the this marks variable. Subject variable, subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, 4, 5. So you can give the subject name also. Language 1, language 2, maths, science, social. Now we don't require all these 5 statements. So what we can do is using one statement only, we'll have a for loop to read all one subject here, and then we can use the for loop here for subject. Okay, let's say subject in subject var. So we'll read the e subject now. So here instead of subject, we'll read the subject from the sub, this sub actually variable, sub, comma, then again double quotes. So now the loop repeats up to end of the list actually, therefore up to subject 5 times it will repeat. Now ch1 that we'll consider again, so we'll put it over here, and if so, let's say subject 1 only, otherwise you can change to this condition we'll use again. But again, this 5 statement not required now. So each this run 5 times. The loop will run 5 times itself. Therefore, we don't require it. Now total, fine. So what you can do is we can say declare the variable total is equal to 0. Now total is equal to total plus subject 1. So what are the marks comes? That is equal to total plus subject 1. So you get an idea, right? So here what we have done. So first we declare the one list. In the list there are 5 values, subject 1, subject 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have one more list that will have the 5 zeros. So for each subject we want to pass the values here, and ch1 is equal to 1, total is equal to 1. Then you have to take one variable cut as I is equal to 0, because whatever the value comes we want to pass the value to the this list. So now to pass the value to that list, we write marks var. So we'll take the index value, that is I. Initially I is equal to 0. That is the first one. Okay. So that is equal to subject 1. That is equal to subject 1. So now you need to increment the I value. So therefore you can say I is equal to I plus 1. Sorry, plus 1. Sorry. I plus 1. Then we check the subject whether it is pass or fail. So ch is equal to 1, yes, ch is equal to 0. Then we'll find the total. Now total is ready. So next, once you have the total, so we want to find the average. So therefore you can say average is equal to total divided by 5. Then this rest of the code will do the same job. So therefore you can use the same code. And here you're supposed to use plus mark. Okay, so run the program. So we'll ask for the first marks. Okay, enter the 56, 77, 66, 55, 78. Now you can see that it ordered all the values. So we get 343 and it is a first class. So again we'll run the program, and this time we'll make any one subject fail or two subject fail, no problem. So let's say 23, 22, 33. Now you can see that result is fail and the total marks is 232. Right, now this program is working fine. So what are the changes we have done? So we take on one list here, second list here, and ch1 is equal to 1, indicating that student is pass assuming all the subjects are greater than 35. Total is equal to 0 to find the total marks. I is equal to 0 because here using the loop for this list we want to pass the values. So in the beginning list of 0, first loop, second time when execute it should be 1, third is 2, therefore you can able to pass the value to the this list. Then you are incrementing the list and you are checking the subject whether any subject less than 0 or not, or less than 35, right? Then total is equal to subject. So we want to find the total here. Total is equal to total plus subject 1. So these are the changes we done. So this rest of the code is almost same. So we are not done any changes here. So we take the average, based on the average whether you declare the pass or fail. Fine. So please make a note on this. You write down and then try yourself. Now we'll see the next one, how to use the list functions or list methods. Okay, there are list methods, how to use the list method to write the program. So let us discuss. For list is concerned, we have a minimum, you have sum. So minimum will give the minimum value from the list and sum will give the total sum of the list actually. So using this, so we'll reduce the line of code here. So you can see that this total is not required for us now. CH is not required for us now. So what you can do is instead of checking here, we'll remove this code, and to find the total we can say that is equal to sum of marks were. So therefore then total by 5 will give the result. And now here instead of ch is equal to 0, because we remove the ch variable, we'll say minimum of marks were, this is the marks were, is less than 35. So whatever we have done for ch, okay, checking the condition and all, instead of that we say minimum marks were. So you should give the minimum value in the list. What are the entries you have done? Which one is a minimum? If any of the value is minimum less than 35, this condition is holds good and it displays the result as a fail. So therefore we are using here is a sum to find the total of all the values. Sum will sum the all the values. What are the values you are assigned here, that will find. And minimum, so minimum will check which value is very minimum. So any value less than 35, then it should display result is equal to fail. So sum and then minimum. So you can see that number of lines code now it is reduced. Okay, so here you have to make marks variable, and you see that one more bracket has to be added here because there are two brackets. Okay, now let us run this. So here is the marks we need to enter. So 66, 77, 88, 66, 77. So now it's the first class, and here is the total marks. And check whether it will show the fail. So let's say 22, 33, 44, 55, and then 33. So result is fail. Fine. Now this program is working fine. So please make a note of this and then try this program. Next, we'll use a dictionary and see that how to modify this program and how to reduce some more lines of code and bring the efficiency to the program. So Python provide a collection variables, so that we already discussed in a previous videos. So basically it provide one is called as a list, tuple, right. So next is a set, SET. One more is a dictionary. To more about this, please watch this video. So where we explain all the variables. So that is a day 2 variable. So sorry, day 2 video. In that it's all these are explained. So please watch that video if you have not yet watched. Now let's come back to Python dictionary. Here is a Python dictionary. So here's a subject variable that is equal to subject1 colon 0. Here you can see that subject1 is a key and 0 is the corresponding value. Again subject 2 0, subject 3 0, subject 4 0, subject 5 0. So initially we declared all the 5 subject as we discussed already. So we can also space as a subject 1 instead of language 1, subject 2 as a language 2. Here is a maths, here is a science, here is a social, or whatever the subject. If there are more subject, you can increase the numbers. If you are less subject, you can decrease the numbers. So ultimately subvar now it's a, you can see there is a flower bracket here and the closing is a flower bracket. Whereas in case of list, when you use the list, you are using the square bracket. In case of tuple, we'll use the curved bracket. So set also square as a flower bracket only. Dictionary also flower bracket only. Right. So in dictionary we have a key and the corresponding value, key and the corresponding value. So this help us. So we have a key as a subject and value subject value or subject marks. You can replace the 0 by the subject marks. Then again we can use the same concept of sum and then minimum, all the concepts, and we can reduce the number of lines, and by using the dictionary we can improve the program. So let's see that how to do this. Now I'll take out both this list. So now we can say subject var is equal to flower bracket. So subject 1 colon 0 comma. So these 5 times you need to repeat. So therefore you can write 2 3 5. then flower bracket. So here is subject 2, subject 3, subject 4, subject 5. Right, so this I also we don't require now because we don't use the this thing. So when you have subject variable, now is a dictionary. This one is a dictionary. Here is a dictionary. So in order to read all the things, you have to write dictionary dot subject, sorry, particular dictionary dot values. Sorry, not values, it's items actually. So you need to check the items. What are the items are there in the dictionary? So these are the dictionary items. In that we have two things. One is value, sorry, key, comma value. Two things. One is a key, one is a value. So this is the key and this is the corresponding value. Key value in subvar dot items. Because in case of dictionary, there are two things we can refer. One is a key, another is a value. Next thing is this can be referred with the subject var dot items. What are the items in that particular dictionary? So items, you need to close the bracket. Now here is a subject one. This is instead of subject one. So we have to take the subject var only. Subject var is a dictionary, and we need to give the index value. So this is the index value. This is the index value. This is the index value. So for this index value is there in the key actually. So therefore we say square key. So what is this square key? So key will give the key value. So this is subject one. So it's to give the index. For particular key, we want to assign the value. For that particular key, we want to assign the value. Therefore, this value will go to, instead of 0, the value will be replaced the 0 by what are the value you give. And here is again subject. So this is not a subject now. This is the key. Sorry, key. So this pass the value to corresponding key. If subject 1, the 0 will be replaced. If subject 2, if the loop is goes second time, this number will be replaced. Next, we have total. Sum is equal to marks var. Now marks var is not there. So now this is subject var dot values. So you have to take the values. So values, open bracket, close the bracket. So what it will do? So it will give all the values. All the values is 0 0. Instead of that there is a values here. All the values it will take and it will add up this and they will transfer to total. Now average is equal to total by 5. That give the average. So here also in case of minimum, so these are the values only. So therefore you need to copy the values. You can give the all the values. In that values, you should select the minimum value. If any of subject is less than 35, so the result is fail again. So now what are the changes we done? So we take out all the list and in place of that we put the dictionary. So this is a dictionary and here will have the subject and all the marks. Initially marks are set to 0. Next we have a key. Key reference the key values like keys in the dictionary. Then we say for key comma value in subject var dot items. So we will read all the items and for the particular key we will transfer the value. When you say input, the value will go. The next, to find the sum, subject var dot values. So all the values, so sum of it will give the total, average total by 5 and here minimum subject var dot values. We need to find any subject less than 35. So these are the changes what is required, that is done now. Now you can see that number of lines are now reduced drastically because here there are no variables now. So we are managing with the dictionary itself.